If you've ever had the chance to talk with seasoned professionals, be it a quiet competition shooter, a special forces vet, or an old-school SWAT officer, you might notice something funny when the conversation turns to ammo. Ask them what they use, and they'll usually stick to the safe stuff. Mainstream brands, common calibers, widely available rounds. But every once in a while, there's a pause, a smirk, maybe a vague mention of something a little better they keep tucked away. That's when you know there's more to the story. 6mm GT. The new standard the pros quietly love. In the world of competitive precision shooting, some cartridges make a big splash while others quietly take over. And the 6mm GT is definitely the latter. It wasn't born in a marketing lab or pushed by flashy YouTubers. Instead, it came from two guys who live and breathe accuracy. George Gardner of GA Precision and Tom Jacobs of Vapor Trail Bullets. They didn't just want another the 6mm. They wanted a cartridge that shot laser straight, fed like butter, and didn't punish barrels or shoulders. The result? The 6mm GT, or George Tom. What makes it so popular with the pros? For one, the accuracy is ridiculous. This thing just prints tiny groups match after match. But it's not just about raw precision. The low recoil means shooters can stay on target through every shot, a huge plus in PRS stages where quick follow-ups and spotting your own hits can make the difference between a podium finish and packing it in early. Consistency is another big win. The GT delivers repeatable velocities with forgiving powder loads, making it a favorite for handloaders who want performance without endless tinkering. And unlike some other hot 6mm cartridges, it doesn't turn your barrel into toast after a couple thousand rounds. That's a win for both your wallet and your peace of mind. One of the biggest reasons the GT is gaining traction fast, it just works. Hornady now makes factory ammo with their 109-grain ELD match bullet, and the cartridge feeds like a dream from AICS pattern mags. No more fighting with finicky setups or bending feed lips to make things run right. You won't hear pros shouting from the rooftops about the 6mm GT, but look at their gear lists and match rifles, and you'll start to notice a pattern. It's not hype. It's just that good. 6mm Dasher, the quiet king of precision. If you hang around the precision rifle crowd long enough, someone will eventually drop the name Dasher with a kind of reverence. It doesn't roar like a Magnum or draw attention like a flashy 6.5 Creedmoor. But make no mistake, this round is a scalpel in a world of hammers. The 6mm Dasher has built a reputation as the go-to for serious long-range competitors, especially in PRS and Benchrest matches where precision matters more than raw horsepower. What makes it so special? For starters, accuracy. We're talking laser-level consistency. Shooters report incredibly low standard deviations in velocity and groups so tight they look photoshopped. That kind of precision doesn't come easy, but the Dasher delivers it with a smile and barely any kick. Its mild recoil is a dream for competitors who need to stay on target and spot their own impacts. The less your rifle jumps, the more rounds you can send down range with confidence. Despite its elite performance, the Dasher is also surprisingly efficient. It pushes high ballistic coefficient bullets with remarkable consistency, offering long-range capability without burning out your barrel in a few hundred rounds. And while it started life as a Wildcat, meaning you had to hand-form your brass companies like Alpha Munitions and Peterson, have changed the game by offering match-grade brass straight out of the box. Sure, it's still a bit niche. You won't find 6mm Dasher ammo at the local sporting goods store, and it's not something you just slap into your factory rifle. But that's kind of the point. It's a cartridge for shooters who know exactly what they want and don't need a marketing campaign to tell them what works. The pros know. They just don't always talk about it. 6mm BR, the cartridge that started it all. Out here in the world of precision rifles, not many names get spoken with as much quiet reverence as the 4.6 millimeter BR. This ain't the round that shows up in flashy ads or wins hearts with hype. It's the one seasoned shooters reach for when nothing else matters but cold, hard results. Born and bred in the Benchrest scene, the 4.6 millimeter BR short for Benchrest has grown into something of a legend. It doesn't just punch tight groups, it sets the gold standard for what tight really means. So what gives it that edge? First off, it's the accuracy. This round's been the go-to for single-hole performance at 100 and 200 yards for a long while now. Its record on the competition circuit tells the story plain as day. That short, squat case and its efficient burn mean you get rock-steady velocities and barely any kick at all. And that soft recoil? It's more than just easy on your shoulder. It keeps you steady, lets you stay on glass, and watch your impact as it happens. That's a mighty fine advantage whether you're on the firing line or out there in the sagebrush trying to bring in a wary coyote. 6 millimeter BRA, the underdog that keeps winning. There's a kind of quiet magic in the world of Wildcat cartridges, those rounds that never went mainstream but still managed to dominate behind the scenes. The 6 millimeter BRA is a prime example. Don't let the name throw you. It stands for Benchrest Ackley because this little cartridge has quietly turned into a secret weapon for competitive shooters. If you've ever watched a PRS match and wondered how someone stacked 5 shots into one ragged hole at 600 yards, odds are they were running a 6 millimeter BRA. Born from the tried-and-true 6 millimeter BR, the BRA gives it a small but meaningful upgrade, a sharper 40-degree shoulder that lets it hold more powder and pick up a little more speed without sliding into barrel burner territory. It's a small change, but it gives skilled hand loaders more room to fine-tune their loads. The neck length stays the same, which keeps the great bullet seating qualities the BR is known for. The end result? One of the most naturally accurate, easy shooting cartridges on any firing line today. 25 by 47, Lapua, the quiet speed demon. If there's one thing PRS shooters are always after, it's a cartridge that runs flat, hits hard, and won't cook your barrel after just a few weekends of pulling the trigger. That's where the 25 by 47 Lapua steps in a round that ain't sitting in the spotlight, but's earned itself a loyal crowd among folks who want just a touch more out of their precision setup. It ain't flashy, and it sure ain't for greenhorns, but it ticks an awful lot of boxes for the shooter who knows exactly what they're after. The 25 by 47 takes everything folks already love about the 6.5 by 47 Lapua, that sweet short action fit, smart case geometry, and soft recoil, and cranks up the speed by necking it down to .257 caliber. What you get is a fast flyer that runs flatter than most 6 millimeter loads, gives better wind bucking performance, and still manages to keep your barrel in decent shape for longer than you'd figure, given how hard it runs. It ain't one of those burnout monsters, and that makes all the difference when you're counting shots between rebarrels. In a world where folks are always chasing the newest, loudest, flashiest caliber on the line, these 5 cartridges stand their ground, not 'cause of hype, but 'cause of good old-fashioned consistency. The pros might not sing their praises on every form, but that's not 'cause they ain't excellent. It's 'cause these rounds like the 6 millimeter BR, BRA, Dasher, GT, and 25 by 47 Lapua ask more of the shooter. They demand know-how, patience, and a steady hand. They're not plug-and-play. They're finely tuned tools for folks who live right there on the edge of perfection. Whether it's the almost uncanny consistency of the 6 millimeter BR, the fast handling balance of the GT, the straight shooting speed of the 25 by 47, or the hand loader's heaven, that is the BRA, and Dasher, these cartridges stand as proof that sometimes the best rounds ain't shouted from rooftops. They whisper through the wind, land with purpose, and only get talked about in the kind of circles where a hit means more than a headline.